After looking at all of the various literary elements, it's time to go through the recipe for a literary analysis. But first, let's look at what a literary analysis actually is. To analyze means to break down something into smaller parts so we can understand what it means. In a literary analysis, you will break down the parts like theme, tone, symbolism, and other literary elements to understand how they mix together. You will be able to understand how these parts combine to create meanings, just like ingredients combine to make the unique flavor of Polynesian sauce. To create our literary analysis, let's go through each step of our recipe. Step 1. Gather ingredients starting with plot and conflict. Step 2. Season with characterization. Step 3. Flavor with mood and tone. Step 4. Stir in symbolism and irony. Step 5. Blend in point of view. Step 6. Sprinkle in foreshadowing and suspense. Step 7. Taste test. Let's put it all together. Now we are going to go through each step of the recipe with more depth. A lot of these will be reminders since we've covered each literary element previously. For step 1, we'll gather the ingredients starting with plot and conflict. After we read, we'll go back through and note what actually happens in the beginning, middle, and end of the story. Then we'll find the conflict of what we've just read. Without plot and conflict, we just have plain nuggets and no sauce yet. In step 2 of our recipe, we will season with characterization. We want to notice how the author develops characters using indirect and direct characterization. Also, ask yourself, what motivates them? How do they change? Like seasoning, characterization brings out flavor in the story. On step 3, we'll flavor with mood and tone. We should be able to look back throughout what we've read and notice the feeling the story gave us as the readers along with the author's tone of voice when writing. Mood and tone are going to give us the sweet or spicy vibe of the sauce. During step 4, we'll stir in symbolism and irony. Remember that with symbolism, we'll look for objects, settings, or events that represent bigger ideas. We'll also take notes on any irony that shows up. Notice surprises, contradictions, or when words/events mean the opposite of what's expected. These add hidden layers of flavor to the sauce. Moving into step 5, we'll blend in point of view. Ask yourself, who is telling the story? Is it in first person, third person limited, or third person omniscient? Remember that point of view shapes how much we know and whose perspective flavors the story. For step 6, we'll sprinkle in foreshadowing and suspense. Did you see any subtle clues hinting at what's coming? Was there any tension that kept you turning the page? These spices keep us tasting for more. And finally, on step 7, we're ready to put it all together and have our taste test. After you've gone through all of the steps of the recipe and wrote down your findings, you will combine your notes to analyze the story. Ask yourself, how do all of these ingredients work together to create a unique flavor which we know as the meaning or message? Remember the theme statement lesson. We come up with an abstract concept that appears in the novel, then we apply it to the novel, and then we add the title and author to finalize our theme statement. If you don't remember how to create a theme statement, make sure to go to the theme video and review those steps. Once you've found out the meaning or the message, the finished dish is your literary analysis. We've done all of this work to create our recipe, aka our literary analysis, so it's necessary to go over why analyzing literature is important. For one, it helps us dig deeper. Instead of just reading the surface story, analysis lets us see the hidden meanings, symbols, and themes. Next, it builds critical thinking. Breaking down stories trains your brain to ask questions, find evidence, and explain ideas clearly. Also, it connects to real life. By analyzing how characters deal with conflict, love, fear, or identity, we learn lessons that apply to our own lives. Finally, it makes reading more delicious. A story isn't just words, it's like a recipe with layers of flavor. Analysis helps us taste all of it. Now it's time for our final takeaway. And of course, we're going to relate it back to our Polynesian sauce metaphor. Literary analysis is like tasting Polynesian sauce. At first, you notice it's sweet, but if you pay attention, you also catch the tangy and savory notes. By analyzing, we don't just eat the nuggets. We enjoy the full flavor the author created. Literary analysis is important because it lets us taste all the flavors in a story, not just the surface.